brought him in for potentially sex trafficking and rape. We are going to give you more of the details. I'm going to give you the more of the details right now, actually, as a matter of fact, okay? I'll just get started on it.
Social media influencer Andrew Tate has been arrested in Romania on suspicion of human trafficking, rape and forming an organised crime group. Our correspondent Ashna Hernag is here with more. Ashna, for the uninitiated, who is he and what's he being accused of in more detail?
Well, Andrew Tate is a former kickboxer, but as you mentioned there, he is a deeply controversial...
The fucking eyebrows are on it, lad. They're on it. They're covering it, right? They're fucking talking about it, right? It's one of ours, yeah? It's one of ours, yeah? Andrew fucking Tate. He's from Cardiff. Just kidding, he's not from Cardiff. He's from Luton.
Online influencer who has been taken off multiple platforms, including Facebook and Instagram, for promoting hate speech and misogynistic commentary. In the past, some of the things that he said, well, he's suggested that victims of rape bear some responsibility in their assault. Women, he's described them as being property belonging to men. And he's described himself, in his own words, as being the king of toxic masculinity.
I think this is also like testing the boundaries on what people will consider acceptable. It's like, it literally fucking feels like even if you do sex trafficking, as long as you're like openly saying you're doing it, people will just like ride for you, I guess, because of like their hatred for women or something. I don't know what the fuck's going on there, but it's basically just like, it's insane. It's insane to just be like openly talking about sex trafficking, luring women in under false pretenses and grooming them into sex work, and then like keeping them in awful and shitty conditions and openly stating that you're keeping them in awful and shitty conditions as well regularly, like about your mistreatment of women being like your main reason, like being the main reason why anybody knows you. Because Andrew Tate has tried to be famous for a very long time. He's been a troll for a very long time. He's hung out with a lot of right-wingers for a very long time, but he didn't fucking pop off until he became the face of misogyny, okay? He literally owned it. He was like the most misogynistic man, okay? And I find it really, really, really odd, like incredibly fucking odd, that Mr. Face of Misogyny is still being defended when he did like some of the most violent misogynistic shit you can.
Last night he was arrested in Bucharest, where he moved in 2017 with his brother.
My brother says he doesn't agree with the misogyny part. Overall message is good. I know, dude. But look, newsflash, okay? They probably do agree with the misogyny part to a certain degree. At least they agreed to it enough to like overlook it, because that's his main thing. That's his main thing, is just saying women fucking suck. Women ain't shit. Women ain't shit. Bitches ain't shit. That's all he says, right? Like, that's it. That's pretty much the entirety of his message. And then this is the Jordan Peterson rhetoric, right? When Jordan Peterson originally popped off many, many years ago, people would ride for him like a like people were fucking fettuccine for Jordan Peterson, right? Why were they so ride or die for him? Because he had an otherwise like very basic, boring self-improvement message, okay, that, you know, people would agree with. Sure, it's like regular self-help stuff, but he would layer it with a shitload of reactionary conservative rhetoric, which he carefully crafted to ensure that it was as centrist as possible. He used his his academic background to make it seem like it was the arbiter of like objective truths, and he was always neutral on issues, right? But ultimately, if you understood these things, you pretty quickly recognized that Jordan Peterson was a right-wing person, right? But people still genuinely fought for him. They said, no, he's not. And I also, even if he is kind of conservative, I don't like the conservative stuff, but I like the self-help stuff. It's just like, no, you kind of like the conservative shit. Why did you like it? Not because you yourself are like a gigantic transphobe. You might have become one, but it doesn't matter. You liked it because he was shitting on the fucking annoying SJWs, okay? And you hated the annoying SJWs. They were constantly on fucking television. They were constantly being promoted on on Twitter and whatnot, and everyone made a fool of them over and over again, and Jordan Peterson did it effectively. He very easily was able to make them look even sillier, okay? Make them look hysterical. And because a lot of those freshmen, college students were just like, genuinely emotional because they felt like they were being harmed or whatever. Okay. They came across as emotional and hysterical because they believed in what the fuck they were talking about. So, it just owned them. He owned them, and that's why you kind of liked it, okay? That's it. You are supporting prostitution and literally travel to Germany to have fun with prostitutes. Ain't the majority of prostitutes coerced in that business, sex trafficking, and some of them might be underage as well? You made like 11 assumptions here that are fucking insane, okay? Yes, there is sex trafficking that occurs, especially in legalized areas, right? One, I am a supporter of sex workers. Okay, that's true. I dated a sex worker. I support sex work. I have no issues with sex work. I think it's fine as long as it is done not under coercive conditions. And I don't mean like the coercive conditions of capitalism, because all work under capitalism, all labor under capitalism is done under coercive conditions. But I mean like extra coercive conditions. Okay. I know I'm responding. I know I'm responding to a fucking troll account. But this is important to address because there is a difference. I support sex workers. I support sex work. I do not support sex trafficking. A lot of you fucking weirdos unironically conflate the two, like this guy's trying to do. I went to a brothel, famously, in like, I think, what was it, like 2010? I don't remember exactly when it was, or 2009, 2010. I don't know. And what happened? Went to a brothel. That brothel got raided for tax evasion literally almost 10 years after I had attended the brothel. Okay? I went to a brothel in like 2010, 2011. Don't remember exactly when it was. Okay? That brothel got raided for tax evasion. Not only did they get raided for tax evasion, that brothel was also used as a political pawn at the time, specifically Artemis, which is still in operation, by the way, in Berlin. It's a very famous brothel. The cops claimed that they were doing sex trafficking there, okay? Now, how do people know this about you? Because I talk about sex work. I talk about sex work all the time, and the people that know this about me know this because they've seen something on Twitter that claims that I, like, engaged in sex trafficking or something, because people are fucking psychotic. All of these schizophrenic fucking losers on the internet literally turn around and use something that I openly talk about regularly as a thing against me because, they're just insane. They hate sex work and they hate sex workers and they're stupid. I don't know what else to tell you. But, like, of course, they can't say Hasan went to a fucking brothel in 2010, which, got raided for tax evasion in 2016, and then make that work as, like, a bad thing, right? Because, like, who the fuck cares? Everyone would be like, who cares? What do you mean? Okay, yeah. He also went to a McDonald's that got raided for tax evasion. Does that fucking mean Hasan is responsible? No. Shut the fuck up. Okay? Not only was that a false assertion, because the investigation was concluded and they showed that sex trafficking was not happening, okay? But also on top of that, the brothel was kept in operation. Sex work is legal in Germany. The brothel is a legal brothel, okay? But they successfully sued Berlin. They successfully sued the city for hundreds of thousands of dollars because of the defamation that the city had placed upon them. So shut the fuck up. That lawsuit just ended literally this past week, and people still lie about it. Anyway, people still fucking mention it, and it doesn't matter, okay? Also, it must have gotten really under that dude's skin that you got with hot women in Germany. It's just, like, so stupid. Okay. And I've talked about this so many fucking times, okay? Sex work should never be conflated with sex trafficking, because sex trafficking happens all the fucking time. And the most effective way to deal with that, which everyone wants, especially sex workers want to deal with that, okay, is by not conflating the two. But unfortunately, in many instances, people conflate the two specifically so they can write anti-sex work legislation. It's fucked up. And that undermines sex workers, that makes sex workers actually, that puts sex workers in a way more harmful situation. It's about narrative, and it's easier for people to lie and place the burden of proof on you. Exactly. And people are very, very, very fast and loose nowadays with the truth. Okay? Like, they just lie. They lie all the fucking time. They lie all the time. Especially conservatives do this aggressively, okay? Like, conservatives just straight up say all LGBT people are pedophiles, people who defend LGBT people are pedophiles, and then turn a blind eye to the actual pedophiles, whether it be the Catholic Church or whether it be fucking legitimate, like, pedophilia happening within conservative ranks, okay? They claim that, like, the left are doing grooming because they're defending like sexual liberty and civil rights for gay people, queer people in general. And then they turn around and, like, you know, cover up Andrew Tate. They defend Andrew Tate when they're doing, like, when Andrew Tate is, like, openly talked about doing sex trafficking. Okay? Like, Tucker Carlson has literally defended an actual pedophile, Warren Jeffs. Tucker Carlson also had Andrew Tate on his broadcast. Conservatives defended Roy Moore when it was, like, obvious that he was such a known pedophile in Alabama that the police in Alabama literally banned him from going to the mall because that's where he would pick up the young girls. And conservatives still defended him and wanted him to become a senator from Alabama. Okay? So understand, this is a multifaceted problem. And ultimately, if you're looking to, like, conservatives for, like, establishing a baseline or having, like, or hypocrisy hunting or whatever the fuck, like, you're not going to get that. They're not genuine, okay? Like, and if you turn around and go like, oh, well, dude, you fucking, what is this? Tate explained it himself, how he uses these controversies. Yeah, and if you fucking turn around and say some dumb shit like, well, actually, like, you know, the brothel, they said it was rated for sex trafficking. Bro, he literally fucking said, he did the lover boy method personally on his website, okay? Like, you have to understand this. This motherfucker personally said, what if I told you the only way to escape the matrix is to unlearn everything that you have been taught and rebuild your entire belief system based on critical thought and analysis? Yeah, dude, totally. Like, it's not just the Romanian authorities that said he groomed women into sex work, okay, and put them in coercive situations. It's Andrew Tate who said it. So just listen to him. He bragged about it time and time again. He bragged about it so much, he wrote literally how-to tutorials on his fucking original website. Why do you hate Tate so much, bro? I don't care. I don't care about Andrew Tate. I wish that he was just a funny, charismatic figure who didn't fucking make his entire brand about fucking over women, okay? But more importantly than that, I'm not a fan of sex trafficking. So obviously, that was like a big problem for me. You literally are asking me, why do you hate someone who not only engaged in sex trafficking and is now arrested for it, okay, but also, even before he got arrested for it, was openly celebrating it regularly and wrote about it. Like, here are the screen caps from his fucking website, dude. I mean, I don't know if I could show some of this stuff. It might be TOS, but let me look at it. Yeah, no, it's not. Okay, here it is. Andrew Tate's website was shut up like, why am I an expert in this? Because I'm a successful sex trafficker. Here, my job was to get women to fall in love with me. Here, who am I? My name is Andrew Tate. I'm a retired 4-time world champion kickboxer who is now a multimillionaire, and I'm the most competent person on the entire planet to teach you about the male-female interactions. How did I become rich? Webcam. I've been running a webcam studio for nearly a decade. I've had over 75 girls work for me, and my business model is different from 99% of webcam studio owners. Yeah, because it's literally illegal, okay? Over 50% of my employees were actually my girlfriend at the time. And of all my girlfriends, none were in the adult entertainment industry before they met me. That is literally saying, like, he just basically fucking is openly admitting it. It's crazy to me. My job was to get women to fall in love with me. What he is describing is literally an incredibly common way to groom women into sex trafficking. There is a name for the method. It's called the lover boy method. This is what he was talking about. And when we first watched this, when I first heard him say this, when I first read this thing, I was like, why is this out there? Why? How is this out there? Literally, that was my job. My job was to meet a girl, go on a few dates, sleep with her, test if she's quality, get her to fall in love with me, to do where she'd do anything I say, and get her on a webcam so we could become rich together. Whether you agree or disagree with what I did, with their loyalty, submission, and love for me, doesn't matter. You cannot reject the results. And the results are simple. Well, you know who rejected the result? The motherfucking counterterrorism unit in Romania. Okay? My girlfriends would do more for me than 99.9% of men's wives would do for them. Can you describe the lover boy method in detail? Yeah, dude, Taken, okay? Taken. Taken is like, didn't they describe this in Taken? Here. I mean, this is like an international thing. Lover boys or Romeo pimps are human traffickers who usually operate by trying to make young girls or boys fall in love with them. Sometimes they manipulate young people in other ways. Once they have victims under the influence, they exploit them, for instance, in the sex industry. The lover boy method is changing due to internet and social media. Traditionally, a lover boy seduces young, vulnerable girls and boys over a lengthy period of time in order to exploit them sexually later on. This practice is being used less and less. Nowadays, lover boys resort more quickly and frequently to threatening their victims using blackmail and violence. The internet and social media are playing an increasing role in this phenomenon. For instance, social media provides lover boys with much greater scope for establishing contact with victims and gathering information about vulnerable young boys and girls. This makes it easier for them to force their young victims into the sex industry. That's in the Netherlands. This is literally a thing that happens all around the world. And it is basically like such a commonplace method that pimps would use to sex traffic women that it has been in movies, like in many movies. There can be many different ways to coerce women into working. The Romanian, what the authorities have said about Andrew Tate, what the authorities have said so far is that some of the methods of like making sure that women stayed with him was debt trapping, which is when you buy them stuff and then they have to work to pay it over, like work to pay it off. You offer them a place to live and then, rent. You have to pay rent. You have to like, pay off your fucking work. I mean, it's like, dude, any movie that you've ever seen, you have to have seen this. Like, it's such a commonplace thing. Some was violence and physical intimidation, threats of violence, actual acts of violence. That was another way to basically keep these women doing indentured servitude, okay? Another way to do it is by taking people's passports. This is what happened in Qatar. A lot of people fucking were frustrated with like the treatment of migrant workers in Qatar. I'm sure all those people don't have anything to say about fucking Andrew Tate. You know what I mean? Like, not all those people, but a lot of those people that were like universally condemning Qatar would probably turn around and not have an issue with Andrew Tate doing this because Andrew Tate is like someone that they enjoy and appreciate. Social isolation is a big one too. Sometimes they don't even have to use force at all. They take advantage of capitalism and offering a place to stay is enough pressure to get many in the industry. Exactly. So anyway, the point is not what this method is. The point is that this is a method that Andrew Tate described and literally openly stated that he was doing. Did they release him or was that fake info? No, they did not release him. Anytime some shit like this happens, okay, anytime breaking news happens in general, there's going to be a lot of fake news, okay? You should just know that by now. If you've been here for a long enough time, you know this by now, okay? Fake news always happens in breaking news stories. I myself have even like greatly exaggerated the importance of the fucking pizza box plate, okay? Played it up, had fun with it. That's, you know, a minor part of the conversation, not even anywhere near as important as like Andrew Tate's actions, you know, the meat of the story, which I, you know, personally, dude, this guy said Arma 3. That's crazy. It was literally a fucking clip of Arma 3 that someone sent me saying it was real. I looked at it. I said, I think this is a video game. And I fucking openly addressed it like 10 seconds after clicking on the link. How the fuck do you guys, that's crazy. Dude, I know, I immediately can smell the Reddit nerd off this fucking weirdo. The moment that someone brings something like that up, I'm like, what the fuck? The ghost of Kiev duped this entire chat and the internet. Not me, motherfucker. I was one of the first people that said that shit was fake. And everyone yelled at me, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This happens. This happens. Bro, it got on the news. He's not talking about you personally, I think. No, he's talking about me personally because I clicked on that link. I had the audacity to fucking click on that link and say, wait, what do you mean? I literally talked about the ghost of Kiev being impossible for it to be real, and I got punished for it regularly. What do you mean? People were fucking screaming at me saying, oh, here goes Hasan again, being a fucking Russia simp. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I mean, I'll be honest, like if that's what you're desperately grasping to, that I like clicked on a link and said this seems fake, and you think that was like good enough to be good enough as an example of me being like duped by fucking propaganda or whatever, I don't know what to tell you. Anyway, I am from Ukraine, he's real. Yeah, okay. Yeah. So, Andrew Tate's webcam course. Wait, he did a fucking ad for it?
Great.
Okay, we'll look at it in a second. Please message me directly. Social isolation and making sure you can't do that, what I'm doing right now, and that people think they're crazy just in case sitting at a homeless shelter. What? Being risked. What? Okay, I'm not DMing you, but okay, where the fuck was I? All right, listen. The ghost of Kiev is real. He slept with my mom. No, that was me. I'm sorry to report. Actually, I'm not sorry. She enjoyed it a lot, and I'm your new father. But you know, I'm not your stepfather. I'm the father that stepped up. Okay. So, a lot of people thought Andrew Tate is fucking getting out of prison. I believe that, where the fuck is it? Where, Aiden Ross was like, on God, you know, he's out. Thank God. Well, turns out that's not the case, it seems. Wait, where is it? Where is the Aiden Ross tweet about? Did he delete it? Oh, he deleted it. No way. Motherfuckers don't realize you could literally tweet from someone else's phone.
It's about 6 o'clock in the morning, Miami time.
Oh, here it is. Here's Aiden Ross. Andrew Tate supposedly released from jail. Nope. Anyway, let's watch this.
Brother, he was arrested alongside his brother Tristan Tate on suspicion of human trafficking, rape, and of forming an organised crime group. Here's what he told reporters outside.
The Matrix has attacked.
So a very short response from him, led away there with his brother. Inside, when they raided that property, police found guns, they found knives and wads of cash. Prosecutors say the 4 suspects, there were 2 other Romanian nationals also arrested, appear to have created an organised crime group with the purpose of recruiting, they say, housing and exploiting women by forcing them to create porn.
What the fuck is this? Andrew Tate destroys Hasan for not knowing his own gender. Where the fuck? What did you just send me? Like, what the fuck is that, man? Don't do that. Don't send me dumb shit like that.
Pornographic content meant to be seen on specialised websites. The brothers have declined to comment. Their lawyer has acknowledged that, yes, they have been detained. It's reported, though, that police needed proof that both these brothers happened to be in the country. And they did that by allegedly monitoring their social media sites. And since Andrew Tate has been engaging in a Twitter row, some viewers may have seen, with climate activist Greta Thunberg, in his latest
got
tweet...
a bit ugly, didn't it?
It did. He's recently tweeted a video of him alongside some pizza boxes belonging to a Romanian company, and that was allegedly the way that police went on to find him. Greta Thunberg reacting in the last half an hour or so, tweeting, "This is what happens when you don't recycle your pizza boxes." So reacting there to that news of his...
She doesn't miss a
arrest.
trick, does she?
No, she doesn't. But he will be...
Anyway, it's getting annoying hearing people mess up Greta's name. Okay, so let's look. Andrew Tate had talked about being in Romania before that. I think he tweeted on December 25th a video saying Romania. It was a video from Romania. It's not. It definitely. It's not just the pizza box that got him, okay? The pizza box might have offered additional confirmation of where he was in that immediate moment, which was like enough for them to facilitate the raid on all of his compounds, because they did do that, okay? But, you know, it was he had tweeted that he was back in Romania.